Welcome to another Monday Night Sports Show, Rams. Tonight we will open with the conclusion of the investigation into CSU Athletics. I'm Rachel Hallam.
And I'm Erica Johnson. Tonight on Bird's Eye View with Ethan, he explores exactly what it is we love about sports.
And of course, we have our picks for this week's games. Don't go anywhere because CTV Sports starts right now.
Last Wednesday, CSU released the results of the over 2-month-long internal investigation over allegations of racial insensitivity and failures to follow COVID-19 protocols within Colorado State's athletic department, especially within the football program. The report discloses that many student athletes and staff members did not believe there were any widespread problems within CSU's athletic programs. However, some witnesses listed in the final findings alleged some questionable incidents related to racial and pandemic-related misconduct. Interviews in order to receive a complete look at these accusations that painted CSU's athletic culture as problematic and unjust, the independent law firm that CSU hired to conduct the investigation, Hush Blackwell, interviewed 115 individuals, including 49 current and former athletes, 63 and former employees, and 3 other community members. Most athletes currently competing for CSU athletic programs disputed allegations of widespread racial inequalities within the athletic department. But there was some concerns over current football head coach Steve Adazio, the former head coach of CSU football Mike Bobo, and athletic director Joe Parker, who hired both men. Starting this discussion over a toxic athletic program back in August, numerous witnesses raised allegations of racial insensitivity and mistreatment by Bobo and 9 other members of his coaching staff. Hush Blackwell's final findings report that most of the incidents describing alleged racist comments or racial inequalities involved former coaches no longer affiliated with the university, but they continue to resonate with students and staff that are still at CSU. According to a story published by the Fort Collins Coloradan, Brooke Hudson, an African-American member of CSU's women's volleyball team, felt the report was neglectful from President Joyce McConnell, saying for the president of the university to blame the racial insensitivity in the athletic department on the current climate of our country and completely dismiss any student-athlete stories by saying, well, most student-athletes reported feeling safe is a complete whitewash of the system. The email from the president completely made me feel unseen. This is what systemic racism is, and the athletic department is immensely complicit in that. The report also investigated a reported failure of Ram Athletic Department to abide by COVID-19 protocols, coming to the conclusion that a majority of CSU athletes did not have concerns over the school's return to play protocol action or pandemic-related safety measures. Ultimately, Hush Blackwell found no evidence of athletes being advised to not report COVID-19 symptoms, quarantine, or come to practice when sick. However, football players did allege that their play time could be reduced if they tested positive for the virus. The investigation also included concerns over an alleged incident that involved Coach Adazio instructing the team videographer to delete footage from practices that exposed COVID-19 protocols not being followed. Faced with these numerous accusations, Adazio and the fellow members of his staff denied that any threats were made. Now, this is a story that will continue to develop over the coming weeks, and we will be sure to keep you updated with all information.
This is just all around a hectic situation, and it's nice that they have some set in stone ideas of what they figured out, but I'm very curious to see what's still to come.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see what they actually put into place with this.
Absolutely. Well, shortly after the Mountain West football schedule for the 2020-2021 season was released, CSU officially announced the conference schedules for both men's and women's basketball, finalizing plans for an 18-game schedule. Mountain West teams have an unbound schedule this season, giving them only 9 home games within conference play. Starting with the men's schedule, CSU will open Mountain West play on December 29th at home against the UNLV Rebels within the friendly confines of Moby Arena. Since the year's schedule is a little different this year, with teams only having 9 home games, the Rams will play against every team twice except for UNLV and San Diego State, with CSU playing the Rebels at home and SDSU on the road at Viejas Arena. Looking forward to March, the Mountain West men's basketball tournament will proceed on March 10th in the usual spot, the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, where the conference tourney has been held since 2007. Culminating in the league's title game on March 13th to determine who gets the automatic conference bid in the NCAA tournament. Now looking at the women's schedule, to tip off their 2020-2021 Mountain West slate, the Rams will head down to Nevada to take on the Wolfpack on New Year's Eve. And just as with the men's, the women's basketball championship will continue as well, ending right before the men play, starting on March 7th and ending on the 10th. Women's basketball coach Ryan Williams is already gearing up for this season, saying it is always exciting to see that league schedule because you get to see what's coming down the line. Now, while the conference schedule has been finalized, it won't be the only games the Rams will be a part of, seeing as the conference schedules have yet to be released. And of course, it's important to note these 2 conference schedules are subject to change as the season progresses throughout the COVID-19 pandemic. And with 2020 being as unpredictable of a year as ever, who knows? Maybe the Rams will have a completely different slate of games when Thanksgiving break hits.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see how they do with the new schedule. It's kind of different.
Yeah, I'm just glad to see more sports are back in business. I know we already have football on the way. It's so close already, but I know it's still a crazy time right now and nothing's for sure. I mean, we have the schedule already set up, but you never know what could happen with that. So I'm glad to see we have some positive news in the sports realm.
Oh, yes. Keep it positive.
Well, unlike the unfolding basketball schedules, we're completely sure of our picks for our top 5 plays for the NFL's 5th week of the season. And starting with number 5, we look to the special teams unit in Indianapolis. Rookie cornerback Isaiah Rodgers receives a kickoff deep in his own end zone and takes it all the way to the house. Great blocking, and that one cut on the outside made the difference. He's at the 30, he's at the 20, he's at the 10. He could go all the way, and he certainly does for 101 yards. Puts up 6 on the board for the Colts.
All right. Well, I've got something here. He shoved an amazing play that burned the Browns. So it's only fair that we show a magical play from Cleveland, right? Star Brown player Odell Beckham Jr. has not lacked excitement of the past couple weeks, and Week 5 was no different, coming in at number 4. The electric wide receiver is back on top 5 list this 2nd week in a row, with this phenomenal catch between multiple defenders' arms. OBJ right here, he pops up and he's trying to knock that ball. That defender's trying to knock that ball from OBJ, and then he follows that ball, maintains it. Unbelievable control.
And for number 3, we take a look at one of the league's favorite veteran wideouts, Larry Fitzgerald. After being in the game for 17 seasons, he is not lacking any competition. He still has that amazing hand strength and finger strength in this one specifically, enough to get the first down for the Cardinals.
That's awesome. Moving on to play number 2. Let's look at another quarterback catching a touchdown pass before Dak Prescott was taken off the field after a gruesome ankle injury. He tricked the New York Giants defense to get a receiving touchdown of his own. Prescott with a little sneak attack here, hands the ball off, passes it over to Prescott. He gets that touchdown. It's got me saying, wow, like Post Malone. Prescott touchdown.
All right, and to top off this week's NFL top plays, we join the Raiders in their upset over the defending Super Bowl champs and Las Vegas Raiders star rookie wide receiver Henry Ruggs III. Perfect pass already from Derek Carr deep into the Chiefs play, and Henry Ruggs, I don't know how he does this. As a rookie, he is making some incredible plays for the Oakland the Las Vegas Raiders actually right now, and especially going up against a defense that was so competitive as the Chiefs, getting that, I don't know how he got that play, barely gets it over his helmet and barely holds on, but it was quite the incredible play.
Oh yeah, gotta make those plays when you're a rookie though. That's the best.
Absolutely, big changes for him too.
Oh yes.
But I'm really glad that we talked about Dak Prescott too, because we talked about his gruesome leg injury, and it was so sad to see. But
so unfortunate.
Definitely glad that he got that touchdown, because it was quite the play.
Oh,
so
yes.
we had to get some positive energy for him here.
Yes, exactly.
All right, now let's move back to some more basketball coverage, this time in the pros. The Los Angeles Lakers are officially your 2020 NBA champions. Last night, the Lakers defeated the Miami Heat in Game 6 in dominant, determined fashion to win the final series 4-2. After being in the bubble for months, the Heat and the Lakers players will finally be going home, but only one will be leaving with a trophy in hand. Even with the lasting effort of the Heat in Game 5 to force Game 6, the Lakers bounced back harder than ever to take the championship for themselves. Winning 106-93, the Lakers solidified a win early and held a lead the entirety of the game. After the victory, now four-time champion and legend LeBron James was named Finals MVP. Leading the franchise to its NBA record 17th ring, LeBron James is now a part of a greater legacy. And along with fellow superstar teammate and newly crowned champion Anthony Davis, from even long before the bubble, Los Angeles had more than just the support of Laker Nation to dedicate their championship to.
You know, and us using our voices, us being together. You know, you hear Golden State always use the phrase strength in numbers. And that's exactly what it was while we were here as the NBA, as the NBPA. All our players, everybody had a voice on what's going on in America. So we know we all want to see better days. And when we leave here, we got to continue to push that. Continue to push social injustice, continue to push for voter suppression, continue to push for police brutality, continue to push for everything that's the opposite of love. And I think if we can continue to do that, all of us, America will be a much better place, which we all love this country.
Now, of course, this NBA season, the league, the teams, and the players made sure to make their mark off the court. And this was just as important to, if not more, to the Lakers. But Anthony Davis wanted to make sure to dedicate their season to the late, great Kobe Bryant.
You know, ever since the tragedy, you know, all we wanted to do is do it for him, and we didn't let him down. It would have been great to do it, you know, last game in his jerseys, but, you know, it made us come out even more aggressive, even more powerful on both ends of the floor to make sure we close it out tonight. And I know he's looking down on us, proud of us. I know, you know, Vanessa's proud of us. The organization's proud of us. You know, it means a lot to us.
With the NBA finally wrapped up, players, staff, and fans would like to thank the NBA organization as well as the wonderful staff members at the ESPN Wide World of Sports Complex at the Walt Disney World Resort, where players spent close to 3 months in their care, for dedicating their time and effort to figuring out ways to get around COVID and showing players the most enjoyable experience possible through their time isolated in the bubble. And right now, I personally want to take this opportunity to say that I was right from the very start.
Honestly, I don't see the Lakers winning more than 2 games.
Wow, okay. I already thought your first pick was a little out there, but only 2 games, huh? I just see the Lakers getting it in 6. I'm sorry, Jared. I don't mean to call you out on that, especially since you're not here right now, but I just had to show a little bit of my intelligence right there. And I cannot help express the idea that I am so proud of myself for picking that, first of all. And being a huge Lakers fan, this was just so incredible, especially for Kobe. I mean, they already said they were dedicating their whole season to them. So for them to get a championship, it was pretty great.
Oh, yeah. Such a talented team. They definitely deserved it.
Absolutely. I do wish, though, that Anthony Davis got the MVP award. But it doesn't surprise me. LeBron is still a great player. So.
Oh, yes. Both of them together, just duo.
Unstoppable.
The best duo.
New legacy right there.
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Well, it's time for a break, Rams. Bird's Eye View is coming up next.
Dad?
Just 1 minute, okay? Whoa, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Do clouds take naps?
I couldn't tell you.
Can birds draw pictures?
I don't have an answer for that.
Dad, do stars visit their friends?
Look!
Well, it's funny seeing you here again, Rams, but I'm guessing you just can't get enough. Welcome to another week of Bird's Eye View. I'm Ethan Bird. You know the drill. We're going to come on down here. I'm going to just be pretty upfront right now. Sports are just really weird. I mean, come on, just think about it. We spend our money and our time to watch other people do things just because they're better at them than us. That's pretty weird. I came to think about it, like, what is it that really makes us love them so much? Why do we spend our hard-earned cash on tickets, apparel, and ugly bumper stickers? Why do we dedicate whole days to watch some randos do things we already know how to do? Well, my conclusion is that sports transcend language and is something that we as humans can connect with on the deepest of levels. Moments like these, some of my favorites, I'm going to show these off for a second. 2007, the Rockies win the NL pennant. This is the best part. Todd Helton celebrating, one of my favorite players of all time. And then, of course, this year, after the Nuggets come back, not once, but twice, from 3-1 deficits, watching that jubilation from one of my favorite teams. And, of course, the Sheriff accepting the trophy for Broncos Nation. That was just a little selfish of me showing off what was special. I know that. But that's why I took to Twitter for some sports-loving volunteers.
Why do you love sports?
It's honestly a pretty packed question.
I was thinking about it today, and I mean, honestly, I think it's like the sense of a community.
For me, it's always been like about the team aspect, really.
For me, I love sports just because it really just brings everybody together.
I love sports because it is the one thing in this world that brings us all together.
You're always a part of something, and then as you get older and you go to college and you pack a football stadium with thousands and thousands of fans and you're part of that community, and just like even on social media, there's always like Broncos Twitter or, Nuggets Twitter, whatever it is. And you're a part of that community. I can't honestly say it's because, I'm a very competitive person, but I can't say it's because of winning. I'm a Broncos and Rockies fan, so I can't say it's the winning aspect. So I really do think it's just like being a part of that community.
I think the main thing that's kind of kept me going is being able to have like a team and a community to run with and spend a lot of time with. And I know a lot of people don't really see like cross country and track as like big team sports. But really, I think like the friendships you make on those sports, like regardless if you're like working together all the time or not, is really valuable to me. So that's what I've enjoyed.
Gambling on it. Sports gambling is now a thing, so that's also super entertaining. Just also like, when you're out on the golf course, being able to talk with your buddies about sports and stuff. And if, you have different teams and kind of jarring back and forth at each other. And there's just, it's really, to me, is just a lot of entertainment.
And even just getting to go to like football games and baseball games, it's always just really just a social activity that I have some of my best memories with.
Somehow, in some way, you are connected to sports. And I think that is the only thing we have in this world that brings everybody truly together. So to me, it's so important for men, women, kids, everybody to have one thing that brings us together in one way, shape, or form.
City may have as well just taken the words straight out of my mouth. there at the end. Sports are one of the last universal languages that we have left. It could connect us on all levels that we do not need to explicitly understand one another to feel connected. It's something special, really, and that is why we do what we do here at CTV Sports. We are always trying to connect one another. Now, let's start a conversation. Hit me up on Twitter at Ethan_Bird_ and let me know what your favorite sports moment is. And that is all the time that I have left for tonight. Rachel and Erica have their Pick'em up next. Now, go talk some sports with someone this week. I'm Ethan Bird.
So there you are, shuffling through a stack of resumes and you come to mine. This is it. First impression. My way in. But here's the thing. Can my resume show you how I truly stand out? Can one piece of paper really tell you my whole story? Like that I was studying, going to night school while working 2 jobs just to help my parents pay for groceries. Or how anytime there was an opportunity, I was the first one to step up. Because I wasn't gonna let my life, my circumstances dictate who I was gonna become. And all of that determination, the commitment, the drive, that's me. And that's something you just can't put on paper. Look beyond the resume, discover new ways to develop great talent, like me.
Welcome back from the break, Rams, and to another week of CTV Sports Pickem. The National League Championship Series is underway. Will the Dodgers continue to plow through the West, or can Atlanta slow them down? You got Rachel?
Well, I'm going to go with my California dudes. I'm going to stick with California forever. So I'm going to, if that's not obvious, I'm going to stick with the Dodgers for this one. I know in the last series we did, it was the Dodgers and the Padres, and I was rooting for the underdog series, but that didn't pan out, and I kind of wish it did because it was a little more interesting. But I'm going to continue with the Dodgers, and the reason I'm going to do that is because of their series that they've already done in the past, their records they've had. They've won 8 consecutive National League West titles, and they're not looking to slow down. They have Mookie Betts, they have Cody Bellinger, and they already have more depth and more experience, I think, than the Braves do. And I just think that they have the best players in this series, and like I said, that's Mookie Betts and Cody Bellinger.
Yeah, absolutely. I also picked the Dodgers, too. I think that their experience is just going to be, so much more than the other team, because I feel that they just, like you said, they have Mookie Betts, and he's just been nothing but great. They also have Walker Buehler, who is dependable for them. He pitched against San Diego 95 pitches, and he was capable of doing that again. He should be capable of doing that again, and they only have lost once, and they have gotten the win the last 8 outings with Buehler. So I just think that they're really going to be able to do that. They're going to really be able to do that with Buehler. So I, too, also think that the Dodgers will be just so dependable, and I think that they've got this.
Yeah, I think the most important part for them right now is to use their young arms. They need to use their second and third pitchers. Julio Urias, I believe is how you pronounce his name. Dustin May, who came out in for some very key reliefs against Milwaukee, and I think that that's going to be very important for them. Like I said, their depth and their experience right now is going to be the biggest thing for them.
It is, and they also, if they don't have Rios coming back, they also have maybe thought about getting more pitchers, too, just to help out with that. So I think that they really have got this one.
Yeah,
I'm definitely saying the Dodgers.
All right. Well, the Chargers and the Saints are taking each other on tonight for this week's Monday night game. Who you got, Erica?
Oh, well, hold on. Let me put a quick score update here. Chargers are on top, 20-3. Although I am choosing the Saints. Their defense is just so strong. They're ranked number 6 in the NFL, and they're so strong because of Cameron Jordan, the defensive end. He's the reason why they are so strong. The reason why. He he gets the sacks and, forces fumbles. And the last meeting with the Chargers, he did force a fumble in the sack. So I think that that's going to happen again. He's definitely going to be looking for another one of those, maybe a couple. There's also Drew Brees, who also, he has 8 touchdowns, and he has the ability to put up points.
Okay. Well, I don't know if you saw, I could not contain my excitement when you said that. It was kind of hard for that, but that's okay. Like I said already, I'm going to stick with California, and the Chargers, I can't pick against them. It's way too hard for me. But I got to pick them in this one. And for me, I think the key difference is Justin Herbert. Yeah. He is so young, but he has so much potential. I mean, the numbers that he put up against the Chiefs and the Buccaneers, 2 good defensive lines right there already. He has 5 passing touchdowns with different players all across the board, too. He has his own rushing touchdown. He does have 3 interceptions, and I think that right there is going to be the biggest difference when it comes to playing the Saints. The Chargers already do a lot of simple mistakes here and there. I mean, a simple interception from Justin Herbert, a fumble by Joshua Kelly, a dropped lateral from Austin Eckler, which pretty much determined their game against the Buccaneers. Simple mistakes like that definitely makes a huge difference to the Chargers, and it's what's made a difference to their entire season for the last all the years in the NFL, really. That's just what's happened with the Chargers, and it's last minute mistakes too. They need to be aggressive the entire time and not give up. And when their defense gives up, there's just no going back from there. The offense could do as much as they can to get points up on the board, but if their defense just doesn't help protect the end zone from the other players, especially if Drew Brees, he has an arm, so we'll see. Yeah. I think, though, for the Saints, it's going to be a little tough because they have a depleted lineup. I mean, both of these teams have a depleted lineup. The Chargers are missing Austin Eckler, and with New Orleans, they're missing Michael Thomas, so that's a big difference for Drew Brees when it comes to that. But I, for one, am still nervous because the Chargers could be up as much as they are right now, but they could still pull an Atlanta Falcons move and lose the game still. So who knows? We'll see on that one.
We will have to see. Well, lastly, the Bills and Titans will be a battle of undefeated teams. Who's entering the loss column?
Entering the loss column, okay, I think it's definitely going to be the Titans in this one. I'm going with the Bills for this game. Bills are already at a perfect 4-0, and yes, the Titans are at a perfect 3-0 right now, but they already had a bye week due to COVID matters. And for me, the standout player of this game is going to be Josh Allen. He has had an incredible season from the very get-go already. He is second in passing yards with over 1,000 passing yards already on this season. 15 touchdowns total already. He only has 1 interception. And honestly, that interception was kind of iffy. I don't think that was really his fault when it came to that. I think that the big thing here, granted, Josh Allen is going to be very prominent in this game with his passing. I think that if they get Singletary on the ground as much as they can, they're going to be able to run all across this Titans defense.
Yeah. I'm also going to go with the I'm going with the Titans. Sorry, not also. I'm going with the Titans. They're an undefeated team. I think that they really have key players that they can depend on, and I think that this week they're gonna, there's weapons like, John Brown and all that. They're gonna be a threat, but honestly, I think that it's gonna be the Titans in the end. Titans are going for it.
Who knows? We will see. They've had a lot of time off right now, and the Bills haven't reached 5-0 since 1991. So we'll see if they can get that this time. Well, Rams, that is all the time that we have for tonight. Make sure to tune in next week for all the Rams news you can get, Bird's Eye View, and, of course, our Pick'em. I'm Rachel Hallam.
And I'm Erica Johnson. To stay updated, make sure to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at sports_CTV. Good night, Rams.